lovely Legionnaires, how are we doing today? Today's drawing prompt, I'm going to draw... There was really no prompt, I just wanted to... So, okay. My fucking... One of my New Year's resolutions was that I was going to draw more of the OCs that I just don't draw very often. Because, like, I noticed that I kept sending people references, and I'm like, oh, this reference is old, or, oh, I've only drawn this character, like, twice. And I'm like, I gotta fucking do something about that. So I've been bouncing between, like, 3 or 4 characters a week is what I'm gonna start doing, so that way, like, I draw them more.
And you can establish more lore. Also, it still lists that you're playing Super Mario RPG.
What? What?
Fix your shit.
Ah! I forgot. I forgot to change category. It's fine. I can fix that. There we go. Everyone's doing good! I'm so fucking excited. It's all great. Fungus fungus. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Hello. How is everyone today?
I'm getting over a cold, but not bad.
Struggling, but surviving.
Thank God. Glad to hear it.
So what character are you drawing today?
So today I'm drawing Calder and Aquaria. Congrats on losing your Hadoken virginity. I did! I learned how to do quarter circles!
Hooray!
Avi and I are we're gonna train. We're gonna do it. He's gonna train me. I want to learn how to play the video game.
Fuck yeah.
I told him I have 3 goals for the year. My first goal is that I just want to get, my low goal is I want to get better. My medium goal is that I want to be able to consistently beat Avi in 1v1s. And then my high goal is I want to not get washed at a beginner's bracket.
Gotcha. What on ya? Mine, I actually do have some goals this year. Mine is to actually learn Warhammer 40k and actually compete.
Ooh.
Yeah. I officially have 1,000 points worth of Tau miniatures.
Okay.
A lot of them I bought secondhand, which is fine. Apparently that's like the best way to do it on a budget.
I can't imagine why anyone wouldn't.
Yeah. People that have money to throw away, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
So my goal is to paint them, have them table ready, and ready enough to play competitively, or at least in the beginner's bracket. And my second goal is to publish my TTRPG by the end of this year.
Nice.
Yes, because my friend Lucas and I, who are working on the project, while we were working on it, we looked at it, and both of us, shocked, go, holy shit, we have enough to actually start playtesting. And we've been working on this for like 3 months.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. So we're close. We also realized that we can also make like another TTRPG out of it. We've flirted with the idea that the system that we've designed can also be utilized for horror themed TTRPGs. So we are very excited about that concept. However, we didn't put that on the back burner. We've completely thrown that in the bin for later, because both of he and I have ADHD, and if we think too far ahead, we're not going to get anything fucking done. So
Facts.
So our goal is to have the book published by the end of this year, or a second option is if we can't get it published, to get it going on Kickstarter, to have it funded on Kickstarter, so we can start getting it published.
I'm gonna be doing my Kickstarter soon. Now that everything's settled down, and our guest has gone home, it'll be time to start doing some actual capital W work.
Nice. Very nice, very nice, very nice. How's everything up there in Tennessee?
Everything's fine so far here in the Feywild.
Yeah?
I'm going to kvetch about something for a minute.
Sure, go for it. Kvetch all the way.
So, I don't think this is TMI. I think we can discuss this as people.
Great way to start.
If you are comfortable in so doing,
yeah.
How much did the two of you spend on underwear?
Callie and I?
Like you and Ontario. How much do you like? What would you like if you're so comfortable sharing? Like, what do you think on average, like a couple of pairs of underwear costs for the two of you?
I don't know. I want to say, for me, like, I'm not spending more than $20 or $30 on any article of clothing.
Well, it depends. Like, it's a decent brand, the texture, quality, what kind you're getting it from. Are you just picking up like a package from Walmart? Are you getting?
We talking Fruit of the Loom or?
Like, what are like on average, like for a decent pair of underwear? What would you say that you?
For a decent pair of underwear, like one pair of underwear, I'm not spending more than like $5.
But for like a pack, let's say like a 5-pack.
Yeah, like
if it's a 5,
like 3 to 5,
pack.
Like 3 to 5 pairs.
$30.
$30.
Yeah.
Also, hello,
$20 to
Ellie,
$30.
we were talking about underpants.
So.
That's just like $15.
Don't bury the lead. So, I'm burying the lead a little bit.
Okay.
Damn,
So,
shit.
last night,
Uh-oh.
I sat down and I was like, I need to order. So I order from the same place I usually get underwear. I bought 3 pairs of underwear and 2 new bras because I have 2 bras that are like that I've had for years that are turning to dust.
Gotta just sit up. Yeah. Okay.
I spent $130.
Jesus Christ!
Tiggle bitties, what can I say?
I mean,
I bet you they weren't even fucking cute lacy bras either.
They weren't!
No, you don't. No, because that's the fucking epidemic. Because big-titted women are some of the more sexualized body types, and we don't even get the cute fucking underwear.
I have sensory shit, so I can't wear, like, lace underwear. It drives me absolutely fucking insane. But, like,
No.
So, like, I just bought, like, normal fucking gray, like, just dark gray fucking... I bought 2 normal t-shirt bras, and, like, 3 pairs of matching, like, normal gray underwear. $130.
Yeah, no, that's
What-
alright. That's alright.
was it a pack?
That's all right.
Was it like one bra, or was it like a pack of?
No, I just bought 2
Was that
individual
bad?
bras.
Oh my god!
Silly Ben. You don't get sets.
You don't get sets, you have to buy them individually.
You don't get
Why?
sets, silly man. Because that'd be easy.
Because it'd be easier and cheaper.
Get sets.
I know a woman who has a big cup
especially-
size. She goes booby commando. Listen, 75% of the time, I do too. Because fuck that noise. I'm in my home. I don't give a shit. But like,
Well,
but the problem is that when you hit a certain size,
yeah,
you kind of just can't.
we can't.
Because A, it's bad for you to not have the back support, and B, they're fucking... people can tell, and it gets weird.
Oh,
Sucks.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on any low-rise shirts. Don't even fucking get me started.
Oh god, I have this top that I love. It was a gift. I wear it to like wear dressy occasions. I've had it for years.
Yeah.
A little while ago, I was like, why don't I wear this? I'm like, I haven't worn this top in a really long time. Why not? So I put it on. I go to brush my teeth. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, that's why. Listen, I'm a member of the Big Titty Committee. I have double D's, man. I got tits.
Those girls were out, weren't they?
But that shirt, it wasn't even low cut. It's just the way it was cut, it made me look like I had fucking F's. It made my tits look huge. And I was like, I am taking this off.
No, because, like, listen, there's the shirt that I used to own when I was in middle school, okay? Now me, I'm a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get tits until college. Like, when Gavin and I broke up for like 4 months my senior year. When we got back together in December of that year, like, my shits were swelled. Like, I looked like I just put balloons in my boobs. Like, I looked like I put water balloons in them. I looked like I could have been pregnant. That's how big my boobs were.
Jesus.
And especially, you see, with Heaton, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different with you. Because you're a fairly taller person.
Yeah. I'm proportionate.
Yeah. No, they're
You're
short.
proportionate. I'm 4'9".
Sorry.
Ellie,
It's
Fine.
not funny.
I'm going to say this the most, like, affectionately, and you will need to let me finish the sentence.
Oh.
Ellie's built like D&D dwarves in that she is short, but she has wide hips and huge titties.
Huge titties. Well, no.
Got that
the
short
thing
stack
with shorter-
energy.
Especially,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, the thing with shorter women, we gain weight faster, right? And it looks like we gain way more of it than we actually do. Like so the average height for most women is 5'2", 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I were to go to that size, if I were to just magically grow, I would be probably the ideal body type. I'd have the small stomach. I'd have the fairly okay boobs. I'd probably have a D instead of a triple D. I would not have my diners, drive-ins, and dives if I was 5'2".
It's a great name for them.
That is a great
I started
name.
using that shit recently. It makes everyone laugh their asses off. I love it. But you know what I'm saying? Like that, like me being short and having big titties makes everything like way bigger than they actually realistically should be.
Yeah.
And so wearing low cut shirts, I remember this one time. I wore a low cut shirt.
Yeah.
To a function with my mother.
And that was your first mistake.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I wasn't used to my big boobs at the time. I was not used to having big boobs. I had B's until college.
Mm-hmm.
We had what?
Bees.
I had B's.
Gotcha.
B
Gotcha.
I had B cups. And so, like, when you guys met me in 2018, I was on my, like, second double D. Okay? So, I wasn't used to having big boobs, and I was wearing this shirt that I really liked. I am so glad I was in the bathroom when this happened. Because I had to adjust pants, and you know how when you have to adjust pants, you gotta do the little wiggle?
Yeah.
Yeah. A little wiggle and
Girl
hop.
popped
Yeah.
out.
Oh dear.
That shit. Wow.
Oh no.
Nothing.
I did not wear that shirt again after that.
The other thing too, like, in a similar vein, right? Like, even if you're, like, even for me, right? Even as somebody who's, like, a perfectly average, like, weight for her height, right? Nothing on this earth makes you feel like, oh, I'm a fucking orb. I've become a whale lord. I'm a fucking spheal. Oh god. Nothing makes you feel like heinous and fat like when you go to adjust a pair of pants and they rip.
Oh
no.
no! Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on the death of most thick girls' pants.
Because I had a pair of, like, these dark wash skinny jeans that I fucking adored. They were my favorite pair of pants. And I wore them for years, so they were just old. They were old, and they were worn out, and they were too small. They didn't fit me anymore. I'd simply grown out of them. This was in high school.
Right.
And then I fucking, one day, I went and I sat down to tie my shoes, and they ripped, and I was like, I want to die.
Jesus.
I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
No, it's real. It's so fucking real.
I'm like, you're not, and like,
God.
I've never had body image issues, but when my clothes, like, tear when I move, I'm like, I'm fucking, that's it, I'm done. I'm done for today. I'm fucking clocking out. This sucks. Apple bottom jeans plays in the distance. Ellie's a little soft. Okay, I'll turn her up.
Wow, oh, sorry.
Oh no, I turned you down, it's fine.
Why was I turned down?
I don't know, you might have been yelling.
You were turned down for what?
I'll kill myself.
No, don't do that.
No, I can't do that. I already got billed my hospital bill for the last time I. Anyway.
Well,
I can't attempt again unless I know it's gonna be a success, because that way I don't have to fucking pay the hospital bill.
Exactly. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right and have everybody else foot the bill.
Anyway.
I'm a bad person.
Speaking of
No.
fucking short stacks, so Calder.
I don't know who that is, but man.
So this is Calder. I'm drawing him right now.
Oh. I'm setting in foam pads on my wall.
I keep forgetting about the height disparity between him and his wife.
Uh-huh.
And then I have to look at the references again, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, it's okay. Boone's Sunday game. Southern Badlands.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's told you about my character Roki,
No.
but my little girl, and I do mean little girl, she is a gnome barbarian. And she's dating, they are dating as of last session. Kinney?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who is a human. So I'm kind of sitting here thinking about this, and I told Gavin about the relationship, and he goes, "Wow, looks like real life does imitate fiction." I'm like, "God damn it! Why do I have a type? Why do I have a type for things that are a bajillion sizes taller than me? What is wrong with me?" I have an issue. I have many problems, and I don't think. Actually, no, never mind. I think alcohol might be the solution.
It's okay. It runs in this particular one, I like the joke that attraction to smaller men, it runs in fucking Aquarius family.
Damn.
Because her mother was a fucking dragon, and her father was a half-elf.
Oh my Jesus Christ on a bike.
And now her husband is a satyr. She loves her tiny husband very, very much. Partly because he's very funny, partly because he's very funny and charming. The other part because, in the words of my DMs to Dio, he has a hentai cock.
Well,
wild.
I mean,
Like, define hentai cock. Are we talking like massively veiny, or are we going with like Nightcrawler who has 2 dicks?
It's
Yes.
abnormally large.
aw, I wanted it to be both. Come on, Dean. I wanted my satire sex.
It's fucking satirical. I'll never get over it.
Either. I'm traumatized. Do you understand that? You're fucking traumatized.
Schrodinger's penis? Well, it's just abnormally large for his, like, body size. Also, he's just good at sex, but that's neither here nor there. He is formerly an Oath of the Crown paladin, but since getting married, he became an Oath of Devotion paladin because he loved his wife too much.
I thought you. No.
I love that. That's one of my favorite pieces of lore, is that he's just like, oh shit. Because he was her bodyguard. She's the queen of a small nation, and he was her bodyguard, and then they got married because he was dicking her down despite all of her suitors, and then was like, yeah, hey, how about, if you want to shut them up, how about we get married? And she's like, damn, I had never thought of this possibility.
Ah, so it's an equivalent situation then.
A little bit. Some courtly romance.
Listen, if
Um,
if I'm a whore for anything, I'm a whore for bodyguard and the person that they're protecting getting together.
And thus the music from the bodyguard starts playing.
Yeah, and your point, bitch.
I'm not saying anything against it. I just, again, there are certain individuals that I know who I can affectionately call billboards.
Yeah, I know. Your point, bitch.
I have nothing against it. I just have it funny that I can call
that I can call the
not-
shots. It's just, that's it. Baller shot caller, dude. But, Calder used to work in the Fey courts, but doesn't anymore. Ooh, mysterious. He left for reasons mysterious. And then he met and fell in love with Aquaria.
Very nice.
You know, there's a genre of TikToks that I have been very surprisingly getting into, and that is Sims drama.
What
And I
is
swear
that?
to God, there was a character named Aquarius. So it reminded me of that.
So, like, in character Sims drama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like somebody was telling me this like drama going on with their Sims.
Okay. I was like, is there drama in the Sims community? Or is this like...
No. This is people like talking about
Like they're,
like,
talking about
what
drama
happened-
with their Sims.
right.
Okay,
Where
that's
they're
hilarious. I love that.
Have I shown you the Felonious Balonious Harry Potter Delonious drama?
Yes! You did send me that!
He got 14 kids and he's only like 16 or some shit like that. And Sunny Holiday wanted to snitch on him for traffic. I'm sorry, that shit's unnecessarily funny to me.
I have a short stack character, my lovely druid, a Fey-like character, a Celtic creature with Tanuki features, an animal from Japan. It is from Cholt, so Hotel Travago. God, his proportions look wrong without his fucking shoulder plates on.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello, I see you.
Hello, Ontario. Ellie. Ellie.
It's never a dull moment with me.
It really never is.
It's true. It's one of the benefits of being friends with Ellie.
Yeah. Benefits are war crimes
Listen.
that I don't commit.
Listen, it's the Geneva checklist, and I'm doing 100% glitchless speedrun.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so,
Yeah.
speaking of
War
war
crimes I don't-
crimes,
Delightful, continue.
I started scripting another video essay.
Oh?
Mm-hmm.
So, My YouTube Shorts page
Oh no.
has been bombarding me with a fun, funky, fresh little indie game called The Coffin of Andy and Lele.
No.
And
Damn it.
there's been this one particular lovely black girl that's been whose TikToks whose shorts in particular I keep getting. And I said to myself, well, if it's not going away, let me watch her playthrough. Chat!
Eaton.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
God, Howard, what the fuck?
The correct answer to that question with that game.
I wish, like... I have more nuanced critique,
Explain the
right?
game. Somebody explain this game to me real quick.
Incest.
Incest, murder,
Cannibalism.
cannibalism.
Oh, you know, I could just spray the back of these instead of just putting
So,
shit on it.
okay. I wish I could tell you that, like Urban Spook, it was all complete and utter garbage. Top-down, hand-to-head. Unfortunately, it's not. It's not good. It is, in fact, quite bad. But it's
I do
not...
kind of like the art style.
But yeah,
Just
but
a
we
little.
can't... But I can't say, like, unlike Urban Spook, who is doing this purposefully to be mean-spirited and shitty, I can't say that The Coffin of Andy and Lele doesn't have clear effort behind it, and that it isn't, like, objectively and completely incompetent. I like the artwork, I like the composition of the game itself, its art direction, its music are very good. There's even some parts of the writing that I actually don't dislike, and that's almost what makes me more irritated at the rest of it. Because as per usual, I am more likely to be harsh on something that I think has potential but is choosing to waste it. Yeah, it'd be really great if that extra effort wasn't put into incest, because it doesn't add anything. Like, okay. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Putting transgressive things in your media is not inherently bad or wrong. You can tell a story about anything, or including anything, as long as you do it with a deft hand and proper intent. Because...
However, comma.
Well, yeah, because you have to take into account the people that have actually suffered with that. You have to take into account the people, the families of people who survive something if it kills them, or survivors of the thing if it doesn't. You have to take into account the way that an audience who doesn't understand these things will take it. You have to take into account things like glamorization, things like idolization, distortion of facts, etc., etc. You have to be more careful when writing these kinds of stories. You just have to. The problem, fundamentally, to sum it up before I end up writing a long fucking script, is that these things don't need to be here. Very transparently, they don't need to be here. And the means in which they are put in front of their reader base is actually more offensive than the thing itself. Because here's the thing. One of the things that I pride myself in discussing here on the channel is the art of a good content warning. When you go down the route where the thing happens, if you know anything about the Coffin of Andy and Lele, you know what I'm talking about. Where the thing happens, TM. Right before you do that, there is a prompt that tells you that's like, viewer discretion is advised. And the yes to that prompt, the text of it, I will not forget this, is yes, I know what I'm about. First of all, inappropriate. Second of all, kids. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna explain to you right now why that doesn't work. Because it wasn't a case of there being no incest up until this point, and then I'm pulling the e-brake and not getting any from this point on. There has been subtle, subtextual incest for the past, check notes, 2 hours, and something distinctly tells me that it's not gonna magically stop when I pull this e-brake. Like, it's just not. And I know it's not. And to assume that I think that it will is to assume less of my intelligence. I'm not a fucking moron. Like, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. You can't give your audience an opt-out when they have been forced to opt into it for 2 hours. That's just not how it works. It's not how it works, and you know it. I also want the record to reflect that I'm very anti-harassment, and I think that sending death threats is always too far, 100 times out of 100. However, death threats aside, harassment aside, you cannot expect a wider internet backlash to not occur when A, you have chosen, emphasis on the word chosen, to implement this kind of subject matter into your work so sloppily and to the point of fetishization, and when you are told by your audience to maybe back off, or to lessen, or to take your steps backwards, and you respond with, no lol, no heart, and then make claims about doubling down on it. Death threats are always a bridge too far, however, I'm not surprised that there was a negative response. With that being the response, because it means that you know what you're doing, you've been made aware of it, and you just don't care. You don't care about the people who are victims of the very thing that you are portraying sexually in the term of some dark Harlequin romance. People who actually had to suffer under familial abuse. Fucking, I swear to God. Diatribe aside, my overall thought and point is you can do things that are transgressive and gross and make your audience uncomfortable. I do it frequently, but there's a difference between triggering people and using triggering content for your benefit, which is what we in the business like to call exploitation, and actually telling a story that revolves around a dark subject matter. It's fucking gross. I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of having to tap the goddamn sign!
You've tapped it so many times, it's fucking cracked.
I will crack the sign. I have to tap it so many times. Can't wait for that fucking Urban Spook video to come out and for motherfuckers to be like, you don't think that just because fucking extreme horror isn't for you. Shut up. Again, I listen to FNAF jump scare compilations to go to sleep at night. And I've read manga and left 4-star reviews that would make your fucking toes curl, fucking little boy. Don't start with me. You want to start talking about, like, oh, extreme horror is not for you. I can tell you about some of the manga I read this year that I left off of my 2023 wrap-up, because I feel like there is no one-paragraph way to talk about it. We're not doing this. I can talk about all of the manga I've read about children brutally abusing and killing each other too, but we're not doing this today. So anyway. Weird Birds, my favorite ARG, has ended one of its chapters. Thoughts on Deltarune Snowgrave Route? I like it. Toby's going from, like, the implicit to the explicit, like, psychological horror. I'm stoked about it. I'd love to see Toby Fox make, like, a proper, like, RPG Maker style horror game. I think he'd be really good at it. But I love the Snowgrave Route. There's something so insidious about that kind of manipulation as well. Toby's really good at, the best way to phrase it, I think, is Toby is very good at loud comedy and quiet horror. I think that's what makes, like, that's what continues to draw me to stuff like Undertale and Deltarune. Because I'm not a big fan of the gameplay, nor am I really a big fan of a lot of the stuff that goes on thematically in them. I'll watch playthroughs, but, like, not enough to actually, like, sit down and really give it a play myself. But, like, he has this knack for, like, things that are very quietly horrifying. Things that when you sit back and look at them again become more unsettling as opposed to his very loud comedy, which I quite like. Who's my fighting main? Oh, so I'm learning how to play Guilty Gear. Specifically, I'm learning how to play Strive. And I wanna learn how to play Baiken. I like her. Big strong samurai mommy with her ever-increasing tits. I just think it's really funny that, like, every game that Baiken is in, her titties get, like, 1 cup size bigger. Out of curiosity, where do I sit on the commissions list? Okay, so I'm glad that you asked about this, because we do have to talk about it. So what I want to start doing with comms is I want to start doing them on stream again, because I think that's the best way to do it. So what I think I'm going to do, unfortunately, is I'm going to do what I did last time. Now that the New Year's happened, I think I'm going to purge all my currents. But I'll put out a post saying that I'm doing it, both here in the server, on Twitter, on YouTube, etc. So everybody who applied can do it again. But I think I'm going to purge my list of currents, and then what I'm going to start doing for a bit is I might start dedicating, like, every other Wednesday or every other Saturday I'll do commissions. Or I'll start adding them into the rotation for, Wednesday art as well. So, like, if I don't have an idea for my own characters, I'll just draw a commission. I'm still trying to, like, even now I'm still trying to find, like, a way that works best for both me and my clients, because I constantly feel bad about, like, having to rework and rework and rework. But, like, I'm so fucking busy now that commissions are getting harder and harder to do. So what I might start doing is I may start doing slots again. Where I'll open 5 slots. And then whoever gets those first 5 slots, I'll do those for a stream. Etc, etc. Because I'm just getting so busy that managing commissions on top of like for example, today, in case you're curious, because you always hear me say, oh, Heaton keeps saying she's so busy. So Avi left today. So now that our guest is no longer here, starting today, it's actually starting 2 days ago, what I've been doing is, I get up, I draw my warm-up piece for the day. I typically draw... I either script or draw, like, 1 or 2 pieces that'll be up on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. I have lunch. If it's stream days, I'll stream. I take about a 2-hour break after stream to just chill. I usually take a nap, or I take a nap, or I watch TikTok or something. Then after that, I get up, and then I start making progress on, like, a bigger video, which means I either start recording footage, or start, I either record footage or audio or something. Then I do that until dinner, and then we have dinner. Depending on the day, I then go back to work until I go to bed. And some of those things break up, like, some days we have D&D, some days sometimes Brooke, Justin, and I have movie night. So, like, I'm not never doing anything but work, but I'm fucking working. Hands out my wallet. Yes, Your Honor. One of my favorite, fun facts is that did you know that if you were to look at, the fine luxury vehicle that is Undertale, and you were to pop the hood and look underneath at its fucking engine block, that thing is held together with duct tape and hope? The fucking code of Undertale is apparently a fucking mess.
It is fine spaghetti. Papyrus themed.
It works fine, but if you look at it, it's apparently just a fucking mess. Which I think is funny. Loved being told by professionals that they're like, oh yeah, Toby Fox had no fucking idea what he was doing, and you can super tell.
It's always funny when you can hear, like, the creator fully admitting that, like, I had no idea what he was doing. It's the same with, like, Akira Toriyama or, like, Stephen King, where they'll just be like, yeah, I was high. Yeah, I was drunk. Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing.
It's my favorite. Listen, one of the anecdotes that gets me through my day-to-day is the fact that one of the books that Stephen King is the most well-known for writing, Cujo, he doesn't even fucking remember writing because he just blacked out.
This time, Stephen King said, you know what? I'm gonna direct a movie about a killer truck with a Green Goblin's face on it.
Just cause I wanna. And the studios were like, yeah, I guess.
We're gonna stop him?
I want to make a movie about monsters called shit weasels.
Whatever you say, Mr. King. It's my ultimate life goal. My ultimate life goal is to get to a point where I can just say shit and people can be like, yes, ma'am.
But, like, in that limit where, like, you're not reaching, like, Lucas levels. Where no one's like, okay, maybe that's not the best idea.
No, I want to hit the point where I want to be Kojima. That's my goal. My goal in life is to be Hideo Kojima, where you'll see me up on stage at the Game Awards, and all of you will sit there and be like, what the fuck is she gonna do? What is she gonna talk about?
Entering the door to the Kojima.
The
fucking
100%
door.
my goal as a writer and a creator is that I want to be able to get up on stage and be like, I have an announcement, and watch you motherfuckers go, oh god, here we go, I'm so excited.
Joke's on you, I do that anyway.
Yeah, just like, I'm going to create this incredibly detailed, high-concept world that exists above all else, and then I'm doing a cameo in one of the 5-minute Dragon Ball Z parodies.
Yeah. Oh, have I told you one of my all-time life goals?
I'm listening.
So one of my all-time life goals is that I want, if my shit blows up, like blows up, I told myself that I have 2 rules, because I think they'll be funny. I will refuse interviews, or, like, talk appearances on anything that gets more than, like, 30k views. That's it. Like, I'm not going on talk show. I'll never accept an interview from Kotaku. But if some fucking shitheel nobody wants to interview me, yes, I'll take it.
Hey, do you have a couple questions about your latest horror game for my YouTube channel?
And my answer will be yes.
Hell yeah.
Hit me with them. That, and regardless of whatever MatPat theorizes, my response will be, you're real close.
You want, like, the David Lynch approach, where it's just like, I think it's the most religious of all of my films. What do you mean? I'm not selling.
No, do you care to explain that? No, I won't. It's my favorite clip in the whole world is, if Find Eraserhead is the most religious of all of my films. Do you care to elaborate on that? No, I won't.
My favorite is what, like, Red Letter Media did, where it's like, they put the Neil Breen movie clip, and then they just have you freaking David Lynch going, bullshit. Total fucking bullshit.
I need to amplify the bazongas. You get no context for that.
I'll tell you motherfuckers, that it's about, the state, like, the state of the fucking tomato industry, and you'll just look at me and be like, oh, damn.
I want to be that one YouTuber that's your favorite, because I just say shit, and Matt Pip's like, there's no way! It's like, no, they're pretty close, and Matt Pip's like, what do you mean? They're talking out their ass! I want to be the anti-Matt Pat.
Just be like, nah, I'm convinced.
No, be like the Derek J. Wyatt, where you can come up with all this elaborate, like, detailed lore that you could just pull out of your ass at any moment.
I do.
Just like,
be like, why is this not included in the story? Because it wasn't relevant.
You know the main character's allergic to bananas? Why do we need to know that? You do now.
You don't, but, I've told you.
now you know. Boo-doo-doo-doo.
Listen, I listened to, oh my god, I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. I'm so fucking stupid. The guy who, wrote The West Wing. I watched a masterclass with him, and most of his shit I agree with, and was like, yeah, that makes sense. The one thing he was like, is like, doing all of this, like, superfluous lore building, it doesn't fucking do anything, it makes your world less complicated, nobody cares, nobody needs to, and I'm like, no, I care, and also, autistic people care.
I care, smile.
Like, you want to feel like a world is lived in. You want, like, details to it.
They don't, like, this is the thing, is he's like, nobody needs to know if they're allergic to peanut butter. And I'm like, they don't, but I do. Because it adds, like, I can have all of this detail, like, a character's blood type or like their zodiac sign, and that doesn't need to ever inform anything in the narrative, but it helps inform me. It helps me feel like they're more of a person, and therefore I write them better.
It's like the little details you find out, like what's their birthday, what's their favorite thing, and it just kind of like helps like you said, informs a bit more of their character.
I feel like if somebody could DM me, I could tell you most of the characters I've played for more than like 3 sessions. I could tell you what their fucking coffee order is.
What's Father Stone's coffee order?
He probably drinks... I feel like he is the kind of person who says that he likes to drink it black, but is a fucking liar. I feel like he drinks... I think the word's a macchiato? But I feel like he doesn't like caramel, I feel like he likes chocolate.
So a mocha.
Yeah.
Alright, what if I may, what about the Gift Wizard? I know he doesn't need to drink, but...
Gift Wizard does not like coffee. I feel like he... fucking Gift Wizard drinks the Panera lemonades that kill people.
Yes! Yes!
No, you know what I imagine? There's an old robot chicken bit that I see. He just goes up to, "Excuse me, I require something to wet my whistle." And then they just pass him a drink, and he literally just drops a whistle in it. It's a play on words!
No, I feel like he drinks the Panera lemonades that kill people.
I mean, that also makes sense, too.
He 100% just slurps up a disgusting amount of caffeine that is, like, not meant for human consumption, but he will not drink black coffee because it's disgusting. I hate that shit, but I'll drink the supercharged lemonades because they're sweet.
Simply terrible flavor.
I feel like he's the same way about alcohol, too. Like, I feel like he likes a good cocktail, but he drinks the fruity, like, girly drinks because he's like, fucking, if I'm going to get wasted, absolutely fucking shwasted, baby, I'm not going to be caught dead drinking these disgusting ales. No, I'm going to get something with a little umbrella in it that turns 2 different colors because, spoilers, it's delicious.
You just see, like, everybody, like, the party's in the tavern, everyone has their flagons of mead and ale, and you just see the Gift Wizard with, like, one of those, like, comedic shark bowls of alcohol that has, like, the little gummy sharks in it.
The sex on the beach, oh!
Has the glowing ice cubes in it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I need to quintuple the amount of booba in this. I love doing things and you guys having no context.
Does it involve me?
Not yet. I don't have your model file, Smile.
Well, to be fair, my new design has not been completed yet, and it doesn't really have a, all-around, like, reference sheet. It's just, I just asked Apple one day, hey, could you draw this maybe? And they're like, okay. And then just a couple hours later, here you go.
Yeah, oh, no, you're fine. No, I'm working on a rigging commission for a friend.
Ah.
I saw that Hatterson drew me throwing you in the Steven throwing you in the mummy hole.
I saw that, and I had to explain the mummy hole, and I had to explain why I'm not going in there.
Also, you were factually incorrect. It's not like a demiplane, it just is.
Yeah.
It is a demiplane, and I am not going in there. I still say Batman Returns is a Christmas movie, damn it!
You can kick and scream all you want, but we do the right combination of spells. There's nothing you can do. You're going in there.
You forget I am a mummy lord. I have many abilities.
So is the one in the mummy hole!
Yes, but that's the other thing about that one. It's not me!
Ontario, sweetie, you're very cute. However, you're going in the mummy hole.
I am not going in the mummy hole!
Oh, we have conflicting accents. What does Master Shadow want? We'll do that one first. Russian? Okay, I can do that. Okay, Google! Set a timer for 2 minutes. One of the benefits of having to draw particular characters more is that it means I have to draw more character interplay, which is something I've been wanting to get better at lately. And I feel like I am in fact getting better at it. Aquaria has very sharp features, but she has... I have a difficult time with her sometimes because Dio has drawn her with such a... She has a very strong jaw, and I am always afraid that I have made her a little too masculine. But I think I have done it. I think it is fine. It looks nothing like the original reference anymore, but that's alright. I think Symmetra from Overwatch on the face card, because that's about it. Ah, okay. Okay, Google! Set a timer for 2 more minutes.
Yeehaw time.
Okay, Google, stop first timer. Alright, there we go. Well, the original ref was Conti Aquaria, and the spirit's still there. You're so right. I'll fix the size of this later.
Also, hello, Mortis.
Hello, Mortis.
Mortis.
I'm sorry I haven't been able to make the Rigmore streams. It's not been a good week for me.
From what I know, Rigmore ain't gonna improve nothing.
Mortis' suffering would improve my mood greatly.
Yeah, it's
affectionately, true. I love you.
I know it's why I make fun of him so fucking often. Before you say anything, yes, I know that the eyes are wrong. I will fix that in the line art. Do not worry about it. Maybe I am taking the problem and pushing it somewhere else, but you know, it'll be fine. I know what I'm doing. It has to go back, because this is the top of her head. Because her head's like tilted down. So it's gotta go back a little bit further. Oh, I need to move her eyes and nose up. Oh, I'm a fucking dumb ass. It's alright. Don't worry about nothing.
Just like me for real.
Okay, Google, stop. Tiny little horns up front.
It's back to linear interpolation.
If we're going up higher, the curve needs to be a little more exaggerated. Yes, yes!
Oh, I know. Oh, hang on. That's why that's throwing me off. There we go.
I've got it. I'm a genius, chat. I'm so very good at art. Dio's here.
Hello?
I don't have time to explain. I need you to say 2-for-1 special on your mother at Applebee's is Gift Wizard right now, please.
2-for-1 special on your mother today at Applebee's.
Okay,
Hell
thank
yeah.
You're welcome, I guess.
Theo's going to use that for something.
Obviously.
I don't know what that was good for, but I'm glad I could help, I suppose.
Oh, no, God, he's turning country.
You know. It's a little English, I think. Just a little bit.
I just had the thought of country gift wizard. I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know.
Partner.
I don't know if I could do that accent with this voice. I think the accent's sort of intrinsic. Let me give it a try. I don't. No, I can't. I can't. It's. Well, it's. Okay, wait a minute. So, my natural inclination's about here. Gift Wizard's a little bit more up here. No, I think. No, the new. I can't.
You just sound like some, what's his name from Amphibia? Like, I know that, the high cowboy voice somewhere.
The high cow, oh, I forget what the name of the newt guy is. The one in the town. I know it's like Kevin
That's better.
McDonald.
Yeah.
That's better. I think I can still fix that.
Your ass just turned into Applejack MLP.
It's so true.
No. If you do like Gift Wizard and the Yeehaw, that is basically the love child of Rarity and Applejack.
Oh no!
Oh, God. Okay, wait, hang on. It works in Equestria Girls, but Apple Dash is canon to the normal universe. Don't ask why I know this. You're not gonna get an answer.
I hope that particular clip will not come back to bite me. 2-for-1 special on your mom today at Arby's. Not Arby's, Applebee's. Would you like apples or would you like apples or bees?
Oh no, you know what?
Bees?
They've chosen bees, boys.
You know what the voice is? It's Pops from frickin' Regular Show.
That's what it is, yeah.
It is a little bit Pops. Mordecai Rigby.
Jolly good show.
Jolly good show. Oh yeah, it's a little Pops. It's a little bit Pops.
I miss him every day.
We all do. Although my friend has just started watching a Regular Show, and he's just like going through all the bits of it and just slowly catching up. Although one of the funniest things I saw was freaking Muscle Man mixed with Devil May Cry. And it's just, you know who else is a son of Sparta? My mom.
Welcome back.
Hi, before I forget, Amor, her hair, her bangs aren't just pushed back. They're, you know how Belle's hair is? The Disney Belle?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I completely forgot, and that's what covers the horns. Well, the first set of horns.
I see it now. So like this.
Yeah. And then it goes back into the bun.
Yeah. I got you.
It's like a braid. Yeah. All right, cool. That's all. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what did you need that? Oh, okay. Well, clip for. All right, cool. I guess
You're never gonna know.
we'll find out later.
I wouldn't be surprised if it became a soundboard in Mortis' server, because it's funny as shit.
Oh.
You will never find out.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Sounds about right.
Delightful. Hilarious.
Well, all right. We'll never know, chat.
I'll never know. So, Heaton, I've recently gotten into something that I never thought I'd get into.
Rollicking start.
And it's combined two of my great loves.
Thank you for the follow.
Those two loves are rhythm games and shitty internet creepypastas. Hi, I've gotten into Friday Night Funkin' modding.
Ah.
No.
Listen.
I thought about it.
Listen, I love my incredibly shitty internet creep. I mean, not all of them are bad. Just some of them really are, though.
Just the ones I like.
Well, so there's... No, I don't think Friday Night Funkin' is bad. It was just never for me. Until I caught a few mods. Specifically, there's one called Hypno's Lullaby, which is all Pokemon creepypastas.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the songs in it goes so fucking hard. Like, maybe Friday Night Funkin' has some good music, okay? That's all I'm saying. Maybe a couple songs get a pass.
I've heard some real bops. I think FNF is fine as a whole. The community scares me.
I'm not gonna touch the fandom with a 10-foot pole. However, specifically if anybody wants to... James, no. If anybody else wants to know, it's called Monochrome. There is some, like, kind of jump-scary screams in it at a few points, but it's incredibly good.
I think I have sufficiently fixed the eyes. I've done it. I'm a genius. My talent is unmatched. You cannot say fucking shit to or about me. I'll beat your dad.
Oh, that's one of my favorite Overwatch voice lines, Danica. But yes, I also hope to share the energy.
I thought you were going to say that your favorite Overwatch voice line was "I'll beat your dad."
No. When Sigma blocks a Cassidy ult, he says "reach for the stars," and it's very. I love Sigma.
Nice.
I love Sigma Overwatch so much. I love the way Sombra calls him Viejito. I love him so much.
I didn't know you were entitled.
Yeah, a little. Amusa's also really good. Sigma's a good lad. No, is it Stoned or is it just stoned? Am I stupid? I might just be stupid.
I've just been calling them stoned.
Fair enough, stoned. Yeah, Amusa's also really good. No, fuck you, Daedalus. I play Sigma skins that cover up his feet, okay?
That's why we were calling you entitled, and you were like, yeah, a little bit.
Oh, listen, no,
He admitted it, chat!
I'm entitled for different reasons. I said I play one of the 2 Sigma skins that gives him shoes. I refuse.
I don't know, do we believe that, chat?
I'll pull it up right now!
So I'd like to roll for insight, please.
I don't want to see your fucking self-harm scars on my fucking Twitch stream,
I'll
pervert.
pull it up right now! I think right now I've been using the like Galactic Warlord skin because it's the fancy Mythic Battle Pass one. But before that, I was using what is it called? Like the one where all his stuff is made up of musical instruments. It's called like orchestral or something like that. That one's really, really good. I have the Beekeeper skin because bees!
Dr. Bees! Also, James, do not bring up Angie. We all know. She has better moments, and I still write a better AU. And a friend of mine has basically turned her into just, like, you know, a very stereotypical, just like, you know, like the righteous dude, don't you know kind of person.
Also, wow, Danica plays the Southern woman in a bikini. Shocked.
Absolutely fucking stunned.
Completely just fucking gobsmacked.
This is my stunned face.
It's almost funnier that the dolls, like, don't change expression for bits like this.
Secondary point, I love the DM I got from Danica that just says, "I'm full of whimsy and desire to be one with the unstoppable human spirit."
I mean, good for you.
Good for you. Good for you, bestie.
Listen, the human spirit may be indomitable, but you know what's not indomitable? Your fucking flesh casing.
Imagine having flesh.
Couldn't be us.
Or having non-dried flesh.
Well, you have flesh.
Yeah,
but it's
sorry,
like
buddy.
dried.
It doesn't matter, you don't get this. Sorry, buddy. This is for me and Heaton only.
Yeah, you're made of star stuff, and Heaton's made of...
Yeah.
Sure.
He's made a yeah.
I'm sure made of things.
Yeah,
I just have just the bit with like whenever like Gonzo has a conversation, like okay, you're a human and I'm a rat and you're a whatever.
There's technical terms for it, I'm sure.
do I care enough to find those out? Not really.
I'm sure human beings have found fancy words for the stuff I'm made out of. I'm positive. I just don't know what they are and I don't care. Can measure me with your tools all you want. It's not gonna convince you of anything, and you're not gonna know, so don't even bother. The more you perceive me, the worse it is for you, but it's not like any of you fuckers will ever listen to that, so, you know, here we are.
Yeah. Look, you can keep asking me questions about space. I'm just gonna tell you, or how I got here. I'm just gonna keep telling you that my mom sent me.
Did she?
But who?
Yeah.
There you go. There's your answer, chat.
Yeah. Aether lore, my mom is the goddess of stars and stories. That's why I tell so many stories. I'm bound by blood too.
Ask her a question about space.
What is your question about space? Can I? No, you cannot. Okay, wait, hang on. This realm only has one moon, so I don't know. I'm not inclined to care a whole lot about this Earth's moon.
Mechanically, can you? Yes. Should you?
Probably not.
How, like, good with vacuums are you? Like, can your body withstand that? I don't think so. I don't think humans can withstand, like, high-pressure space vacuums.
No, but do we know what Daedalus is made out of?
Again, theoretically, it's possible, but... Are you getting... Is the good enough? The question for philosophers.
One of life's great mysteries.
I put the wrong input settings.
I know some of you are fans of the suck, but, like, vacuums of that variety will just, you know, drain the heat from your very flesh. Oh, did I tell you one of my favorite bits about my character?
Huh?
Technically, if... First of all, I've said before, I don't want you to draw an SFW of me, but if anyone does, it's technically all not canon anyway, because I don't have sex organs.
Based.
We reproduce asexually, homie. I got my son from a bad dream.
You have a son?
Yeah, Skrunk.
Where's Skrunk? Where have they not returned recently?
I want to get him fixed. I need to do whatever the fuck Crafty's doing with Rhombus.
Is it because he's tasting my blood that one time?
You don't have any blood left.
Exactly, because he drank it all.
Are you using VTS Pog or BikuBot?
I was using BikuBot.
Yeah, I use VTS Pog.
I have to set that up.
They just changed it to now where it has its own separate audio player that you can choose as a separate audio source in OBS.
Thank fuck.
Yeah. Because that was a problem I had, and then they were like, hey, check out this new update, and I went, boy, will I!
Is that the one that lets you give them, like, multiple funny voices?
I think so. Give me the skin. God damn it.
What I have is a kind of skin. If you touched it, it would feel like skin.
No, your skin's not what I'm looking for, but I appreciate the offer.
You probably shouldn't touch it for prolonged periods of time, but, you know, I'm not your mom.
Well, I loved how we glossed over the fact that I'm not used to having just one moon.
Well, I figured. As a space creature, I would assume that you would be more used to having multiple. I assume you are not from our atmosphere.
Well, true, yeah, no, I'm used to having 3 and they're sisters.
Is there a lore reason you have antlers? Did your mother screw a deer? No, my true form has antlers.
Antlers
okay.
are cool.
There's 2 reasons. Do you want the like... You want the fancy answer or the real one? Because there's 2 answers to that question. Okay, both. The fancy answer is it represents being able to reach out for more knowledge. That's why. It's so that I can display more eyes. It defines, like, a branching path, etc., etc. The real answer is, I just like antlers. I think they're cool, and I wanted to have a pair.
Because it's cool.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's why the tips of my ears are star-shaped, and I have reticulated fangs like a python. I just think they're cool.
This is one of my favorite personal lore facts for the newbies, was in the first pass of this design, before I became a VTuber, I had moose antlers.
Ooh.
But they were too hard to draw and even harder to rig, so I went with just regular deer ones.
That is so valid, I get it.
Also, I saw a post, and I'm curious for the VTubers both in the audience and in the call. Somebody posted an interesting query, which was, if you had to rebrand, and you had to start all over and you had to be a new thing, what would be the next thing that you would be?
The TV head object person.
Yeah?
I go back to my original design. Go TV head object person.
I'm trying to think, because like, Mommy thing was kind of like based into a bit of my brand and a bit of my personality. I don't know, maybe like some kind of like, maybe like a dragon or some kind of like. Old...
What else could we make Canadian?
Oh, it's just more like what fit my personality, because like I thought a while about it, and Mummy was kind of something that was just, you know, a very close idea to me.
I had to sit and give it some thought as well, but having had that question rattle around in my brain for a while, I think if I had to completely rebrand and I couldn't be an eldritch monster anymore, I'd just lean into it and be a yeti.
Fair enough.
Like
You're
big
just in a jar of mustard.
Like big buff yeti or like lanky stocky yeti.
I'd go with something that's kind of like, I do like sort of a... I'd be Dorito-shaped. I'd have wide shoulders, but like, be narrow from the waist down.
Ah, so Kronk body, got it.
Yeah, very Kronk body, but I'd like, have long, kind of almost monkey arms. I've had some ideas for a Yeti VTuber. It's a design I might sell as an adoptable at some point, but because I don't have any desires to rebrand anytime soon. I'd like me. If anything, I might get a new outfit, but
No, when I first started streaming, I used an OC that I've changed, but still use to this day, and they were Just if they were a TV head. They were a TV head object. Which, considering my love of Objectmon, is...
I was about to say,
Surprise.
you, a queer person, likes object head creatures? Say it ain't so.
I know, it's insane, isn't it?
Fucking unheard of. Just be Moon, small dog version. I love that.
Okay, but what type of small dog? Are we talking like Chihuahua or Corgi? Because I think a Corgi Moon is incredibly funny.
I agree. I told Mortis when he was first... I was like, have you decided what your werewolf form looks like? And he goes, I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, I just think...
Listen, I think it'd be funny.
I was like, I think it'd be funny. If you were to just... be like a little dog. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I think it'd be fucking hilarious if you're like... huge, strong, wide, like peak buff energy, and it's like, oh, I bet that he turns into like the sexy kind of werewolf, and then you don't. You just turn into like Chiquita. Like you become a...
There's a comic about that I've seen, where it's this big, like, super buff guy, and he turns into a Pomeranian.
That was what I said! I was like, turn into a Pomeranian, it'd be funny!
And then all of his sisters get to be, like big wolves.
Like, it'd be funny.
It would be so awesome.
It would be so cool.
It would be so cool. Rotate.
Banana.
Me when I rotate. You can rotate this banana in your head. No, I need to bring back that gif. I have a gif of a Minecraft sandwich spinning in a black void that just says you can rotate the sandwich in your head. The government can't stop you. Keep going. Daedalus, what the fuck is that? Speed. Heaton, I had a moment earlier.
Yeah.
So as most people know, I live in the desert, not by choice. But so it rains really rarely, and it rained this morning while I was on call with a friend of the crafty girlies, Takarisu.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat there. And I heard, like, the first pitter-patters, and I went, rain, 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 like 15 times before I went, I am so sorry, what the fuck am I doing?
Nice.
I like the rain. Listen, I know it's basic, I've always been partial to spiraled ram horns. Ah, thank you, Daedalus.
I spent a not insubstantial amount of time my first winter here. Instinctively, every time I went out to get the mail, I would put my shoes on, which isn't weird, but I would do it because in my head, I was like, alright, I have to go put my shoes on or else I'm gonna be stepping ankle deep into There's no snow here. There's no fucking snow here. Mexican hairless dog Aether.
No, but I don't know how to pronounce that. Zoloitz. I'm not gonna try. There was a highlight before that. If I was a werewolf, I would be that type of dog. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, I love these. The funky little guys.
I'll be back in a second.
have Chihuahua energy in that they are, every time I see one, I feel like they're shaking. Why do they tremble? Could it be in fear? In fear of what?
No, it's full of rage.
You're so right.
The trembling, listen, they are oh so very small, and they cannot contain the amount of rage that they have in their bodies, so they let it out by trembling.
God, me too. Chihuahua full of rage and fear.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I have never met, you know, a little dog that doesn't think it is the size of a mountain.
Yeah, little dogs don't give a shit. They couldn't care fucking less, and I love that for them. Am I? Oh, thank God. I thought my fucking nose was bleeding. I thought my nose was bleeding.
Oh. Just been there, done that. I get it. My nose often bleeds.
I just saw why is there a raccoon-themed Whataburger ad, and the first thing I thought that said, because I didn't read the whole sentence before my brain reacted to it, was why is there a raccoon-themed Whataburger? And I was about to be like, I don't know.
Because fuck it, we ball.
Because they're your most loyal customers? I don't know. Listen, I love raccoons, but I think that fucking possum are the superior creature because they are immune to Lyme disease and rabies.
Reach.
Sure. I'm gonna save my progress on this before I lose it again.
Don't do that. Don't nosebleed. You need that.
Oh, hello, Mo. Keaton, I don't know if you speak to them. Do you know how Zara is doing? I haven't seen Zara in a long while.
Zara is doing well.
Good.
She is back at school, that's why.
Okay.
When she returns to where she was before, she said she will rejoin streams. I do not talk to her as often as Avi does.
Yeah, I know Susie brought her up, like, at some point during some video, I think. So I know, like, people talk to them.
Yeah, so Zara's around. She's doing okay. She can't be in all the streams because she's busy.
I miss my burrito truther.
I
know we make fun of her, but I need to know what else Zara thinks isn't real, okay? I know it's just, you know, them living in a completely different country, but it's delightful. It will always be delightful, okay?
Zara, we miss you.
Zara, come back.
You can blame it all on Aether.
Listen, I almost said this was Keyblade's fault somehow.
I mean, it can be.
Yeah, who's to stop us?
It could be, like we know.
Yeah.
I'm here with the Pepe Sylvia that everything is always Keyblade's fault somehow.
Oh, you're so right. It all comes back to him.
It kind of does. To, like, a weird degree as well, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. No. No. He should not be put in the same room as low tier god.
I wanna- you know what? Actually, this is a fucking call- speaking of things that are other people's fault, this is a fucking call-out post.
Oh.
This is a call-out post on fucking Skittles shoes. This fucking stupid- this fucking dog. This fucking hellhound. This Borfer noisy creature. Fucking draws on canvases that are fucking they're like 4K by 6K.
Uh-huh.
And has their line art at 1.5.
Oh my god.
So I draw at 12, right? On these canvases, that's...
Yeah.
Fucking, for those of you at home, this is what Skittles line art looks like.
How? That's...
What?
No,
Skinny, why are you like this?
I use 4 or 5, depending on the size of the canvas.
Oh yeah, I know that my lines are thick.
Kitty, affectionately, we will find you.
This fucking dog, I swear to God.
This dog.
Listen, I love her dearly with all of my heart, but she is an animal, and I will lock her in a kennel where she belongs. I just want to draw her, like, sitting in one of the, like, black metal dog crates, and I'm like, I'll let you out when you draw at a normal fucking size. Fucking first it was Ponder, who didn't know what cell shading was, despite having done it her whole fucking career.
Wait,
Then,
what?
Yeah!
No, back that up, what?
Yeah! B didn't know what cell shading was.
But...
Fucking B didn't know what cell shading was. Crafty didn't know what fucking pen press, or didn't know what fucking, didn't know what, doesn't set a fucking line smoother.
What? What?
Oh yeah, he doesn't use a stabilizer.
I don't know if I do. I forget how to check on Clip Studio.
It's right here.
Oh. Hang on.
Mine are set a little high because I have fucking... my medicine makes my hands shaky.
Wait, like, I saw where you circled, but, like, I don't see anything there. Am I just...
You might need to scroll down. Depending on the pen.
Oh, is it? Okay, I see. Where the fuck is my pencil? Oh yeah, mine's at like a 6.
What tablet do you use, by the way? Screenless screen tablet? I use a screen tablet.
Screenless.
I have... Okay. I'll give you quick reviews. I used a Wacom Bamboo, which is screenless, for like 5 years. Recommend it highly. They work really great. After that, I used an Intuos, a Wacom Intuos, which I used even longer, which I would recommend.
Intuos good. I use it right now. I'm using one right now, even.
After that, I used a Cintiq 13 for about 5 or 6 years. And now I use an HP pen. I don't remember the exact model. Lumi and I use the same tablet.
Hello.
But I love my
Hi,
HP pen
Kaden.
tablet. This works just as well as a Cintiq.
Hi, Kaden.
Hello.
I'm learning things about fellow artists that I wish I didn't know.
You have the cursed knowledge.
Good.
I don't like it.
Curse knowledge leads to uncursed knowledge. If you
I'm
have
gonna-
remove curse, of course.
Namely, the
I'm gonna
fucking
walk up-
Skitty draws at 1.5s on a 3K canvas, which makes me want to fucking combust. Nothing made me want to beat up Crafty more than him looking me dead in my eyes while we were recording for fucking HTBA cast, and he was like, "What the hell is a stabilizer?" We're like, "What do you mean? What's a stabilizer?"
Oh,
And he's like, "I don't know what that is." And we're like, "What do you mean you don't know what that is? Every digital fucking art software uses one." And he's like, "No, mine doesn't." I'm like, "Yeah, it does."
Even Photoshop.
And we showed him how to do it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't use that." What do you mean you don't use that? I just draw it right the first time, forehead. I'm like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you."
I'll hold him down.
I will never forget whenever we were hanging out with B, with like a bunch of artists, and somebody said,
"What do you mean cell shading?"
And B was like, it's like everybody's like, I gotta turn on the stabilizer for that, and B was immediately like, what's that? And like I heard a deathly silence on the other side of the call from every artist in the call. Like, the fuck did you just say?
The fuck did you just say to me?
It's
my
like,
own
yeah,
home.
I don't use that really, and it's like, God.
Yeah, that followed by by B, someone who only uses it in almost every one of their pieces is like, "What's cell shading?" B. The mark of a self-taught artist. Thank you for the 69 bits. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Did you like the present, Heaton? I noticed you accepted it.
What present?
Payday 2.
Payday 2. They were like, I really love horde shooters. I'm like, well, that's like one of the best horde shooters out there.
I love playing Payday 2. I'm so fancy.
So I'm such a fancy lad. I'm sticking my pinky out while I suck on this milkshake.
So here's the bit, okay, is that I wear 2 outfits. I have my full suit, really cool black and white mask, like stealth outfit. And then I have my bright neon pink Letterman jacket, diamond embezzled mask for
when you do loud, yeah.
The secondary option is just a pair of sunglasses.
Oh no, my favorite is Santa Claus for loud every single time.
Oh, that's so fair. Well, who do you play as?
Oh God, making me decide. Wolf, Hoxton. You gotta put John Wick there. He was. That was the game he was in first, people, and I'd say Sydney or Jimmy.
The operative you pick. I was about to say the operative you pick doesn't change anything.
No,
it's just fun.
Okay.
It changes what you hear.
Yeah, I play Jacket from Hotline Miami, and Jacket's great because all of his voice lines are like cassette tapes.
Every
single
part.
You hear them like skip or rewind, like it's all those interesting noises. It's so much fun to put him in my bright neon pink Letterman jacket and my sunglasses, wielding my explosive bow.
Giant golden spoon.
Giant golden spoon.
Giant golden spoon.
We got that during the last Christmas event. We did one of the horde shooters for that, and we just started beating people with a comically large spoon.
Nothing proves bullying can work like Russian Badger bullying the people at Overkill to put in a giant comically large spoon in the game on Twitter. Bullying is not cool unless it gets you a comically large spoon. Then we could talk.
Also, Puffball, what do you mean you've never used a layer mask?
What?
How do you just manually do you manually select your fucking shade tones? Like you don't use multiply screen? You don't use tones?
Wait a minute.
If you say no, I'll kill you.
Just use my excuse. What's that?
I use multiply and shade layers. Okay, so you do use masks.
James, that's fair. FNAF is leagues easier than Hotline Miami.
No, that's so fair.
Hotline Miami's fucking hard. Especially if you're not used to over-the-top shooters.
I need to get around to playing it, but the camera angle would kill me.
Favorite heist?
Ooh. I am really good, specifically at doing the diamond the diamond vault or the diamond shop, the jewelry
Really?
shop,
Oh,
whatever
the
it is.
jewelry shop, like
Yeah,
a Ukrainian job.
I think so. I don't remember the names of them off the top of my head. It was just my friends going, "You guys want to do this one?" I go, "Yeah." However, I hate Go Bank with the. I think it's the one I'm thinking of, where it's all those stupid little. You have to take your fucking saws in. Hatred, malice.
Hey, Loudon.
Hello.
That's fair, James. Yeah, Hotline Miami is something.
Fair. I will say, my favorite is either the Hotline Miami heist, which is just fun,
Yeah.
or Firestarter.
Ooh, yeah, that's fair.
Because Firestarter gets
one?
you a lot of XP and money.
Yeah.
Which
No,
game we talking about?
Payday 2.
Ah,
I was just really good at doing things silently. Like that was, I don't know. When I think of heist things, for me it's always quiet. So I just got really good at doing everything silently.
No.
Mm.
It's not gonna be when I play with Heaton, however, comma.
No, smile.
I did not queue up Razormine so I could play it stealthily, okay?
I get it. Like I said, that's why I have the separate one where I go really loud and violent, and I run around in my hot pink Letterman jacket with my explosive bow. I've got an explosive bow and I've got a fucking shotgun.
He said it was either me or the Dodge build. God,
Yeah.
I miss her.
Fucking, I've gotten that too, where I've gotten people come into my DMs and trying to get me to commission them.
Oh, that's the recent thing. That's the recent thing that really fucking...
Yeah.
Like, it's always people that just join servers of my friends.
Oh yeah. I know somebody in I always want to pronounce it Cresselia, and I know that's wrong, but like somebody in a mutual that like got hacked and they were spamming and yeah, I have that too. It's like hey, I want to talk to you about commissions, and I'm like, oh cool, you know, here's my ideas, here's my rates, what are you looking for? And they're like, oh, I do digital art and blood. And I'm like, well, no, that's not how this works. You know that, right?
You more me,
Oh,
duh.
there's a good portion of them that are scammers trying to get into your computer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I figured. But my point stands. Oh, this MF frozen. My point stands is that they're like, yeah, you know, I would like to commission you. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. What do you want? And they're like, oh, yeah, I do digital art. I'm like, no. You come into my DM and ask me to commission you.
I had a cool collab request recently that I've thought about taking them up on. I haven't decided yet.
Heaton, can I ask you a very specific question?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the hit children's TV show Miraculous Ladybug?
Oh god. I've watched maybe 5 episodes total.
Listen, it's now a bit where I have like 3 different collab ideas with Aaron, and one of them is just us ripping apart Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, I've not watched nearly enough to be helpful for that one, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I would like to do a formal collab with you at some point, though.
I want to. I know, running joke, we're waiting for the Silent Hill 2 remake.
We are, though, for real. For realsies.
I also really want to do one, sorry, real quick, about that shitty love letter to AI art video.
Oh, God. Die. Perish.
I want to do a bit where I just have different artists draw the same piece, and it's like, look, these are all better! Oh no, same Puffball. Hey, raise your hand if you're blocked by Thomas Ashtruck on Twitter. Raise his hand. I will never forgive his vindictive hatefulness of a 14-year-old French girl. I'm all for hating the French, however, when you set up a redemption arc and then decide at the last moment you don't want to do it, so you've squandered an entire character, and then replace her with her secret half-sister from New York.
Hey, Caden, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up either next next week or the week after next. How's your schedule looking?
I'm gonna be pretty busy. I'm gonna be honest. January and February, I need to keep mostly open because I'm gonna be heading over to Vermont. Yeah, Vermont, not Vermont. It's out of
New
town.
Hampshire, Maine.
It's
I know what
the
you mean.
Northeast.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
Northeast.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, that's cool.
Listen.
Also earlier, I was gonna say, oh yes, I hear Heaton talking about cool collab requests, and I'm like, I wonder who.
I'd like to collab with you as well.
Listen.
I think I put like 3 ideas down already.
Listen, Short Dark Flower. If you like watching a show where the idea has been completely squandered from the get-go, and the main character should actually not be the main character, but it should be the deuteragonist instead, boy, you'll love Miraculous Ladybug. The story should be about Adrian Agrest. This is my fucking take.
2 episodes of that, and all I could think of, Code Lyoko, but more French.
That's kind of what it felt like to me.
A little, yeah, I can see it.
Which is wild, because Code Lyoko is already pretty fucking French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Adrian Agrest should be the main character when his father is the main villain. You know? And his mom's kinda dead. I just think he'd be more interesting as a main character than Ladybug. Also, Marinette's a stalker, and that's kind of weird.
You know, there's a show, Heaton, that I just thought about when I was at work today, and I was like, I think Heaton would enjoy this show, specifically for the art style and the storytelling alone. Aeon Flux.
I am familiar with Aeon Flux.
Oh my god, I'm not the only one.
I haven't watched it in many moons, but I'm familiar with it.
Same. I was 14 when I watched it because MTV2 did like a full month where they were like, let's show all of Liquid Television, including the full season of Aeon Flux. And I just remember it. I just thought about it again. I was like, yo, that was I wonder how many people I can get into watching that show. Because the show itself is good and it was pretty fun. But then, they made the movie and I was like, Movie kinda eh.
Movie kinda eh. Oh, while Avi was here, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again, because you can't stop me, this is my stream. I finished, this first season of the Kenshin remake.
Oh boy.
I would recommend it. I think it's a great entry point. They did a lot of things really well. Some things even better than the original. Not many, but some. I have 2 complaints. One of them is a nitpick. I personally feel like choosing to go along with a lot of, like, more modern anime cinematography was very much to the series' detriment. Because the original... Well, the original had some very beautiful camera work and, like, lighting and gradient shit that they did really well. And we know that with, like, modern tech, you can still do that. So the fact that they didn't made it feel kind of noticeable and a little cheap.
Right.
Especially during some particularly big moments, like the fights with Jine, the fight with Saito, which was great. It's not as good as the original, but it's very good. My second complaint is that it doesn't breathe very well. It moves a little too fast, and because of that, it has this propensity to, like, not let shots hang when they should. And so some stuff loses a little bit of its impact. I would say very good. A solid 8 out of 10. However, they fucked up the goodbye. The goodbye, for those of you who know, you know, but I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know, but the goodbye, the Kyoto goodbye, they fucked it up. It's just not good. The conversation didn't feel the same. The fucking lighting, the cinematography wasn't the same. They really undercut the big moment at the end of it. It was just not good. And I'm sad. I'm sad about it because it's one of my favorite moments in the anime and it makes me cry every time. But I was dry-eyed the whole time, which is a bad fucking sign because I'm the biggest baby on the face of this earth. So I'd recommend it. I think it's good, but it's flawed. It's not... There's just a couple of bits of it that don't have the punch of the original, and that's fair.
That's good.
I'd rather it exist and be lacking in some spots than not have it. We'll see how the Kyoto arc goes, for one, and for two, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Make good on your fucking promises, or else.
Or else.
These motherfuckers made a lot of promises, showed us a lot of imagery. If I get an 8th adaptation of the fucking Kyoto arc, and no Jinshu arc after all this build-up, fucking, I'm going to pull a Katsu. I'm going to commit seppuku on your fucking front door to send a message, you fucking dickheads.
Wait, how many adaptations of the Kyoto arc has there been?
8.
Why? What the fuck? I didn't know it was that much.
So, it depends on how you want to count. Is the thing. And that's gonna sound like, what do you mean? So, there's the original version of the Kyoto arc, of course, the one in the manga. It's the one in the original anime.
Okay.
Then there is the live-action movie version and, the new Kyoto arc, which was the thing they did for the 15th anniversary. But both of those are 2 parts.
Okay.
This would be 8.
Christ. Okay.
I don't, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I get why it's the one that everybody adapts. It's a good middle arc, it has a lot of good action in it, Shishio's a really good villain, I get it.
But there's more to this than the Kyoto arc.
But the fucking Jinshu arc is the emotional catharsis of the whole fucking story!
But people forget that, apparently.
And okay, you wanna know what's funny? You wanna know how many adaptations of the Jinshu arc we've gotten?
How many?
Technically, 1.5.
Well, huh?
So outside of the original, of course, there's technically only been 1.5. Because half of Reflections, the back half of Reflections is about the Jinshu arc. And there is 1 live-action movie. However, the live-action movie cuts a lot of shit. And the bit in Reflections is from Kaoru's perspective, so you don't see any of it.
That's bullshit.
Because she was kidnapped for half of the arc, or she was either kidnapped or not present for half of the arc.
So why do it through Kaori's? Oh, okay.
Because the entirety of Reflections is from Kaoru's point of view. Which, spoilers, is part of why the movie's bad.
Jesus.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I have 1,000 beefs with Reflections. Someday soon we should do the ritual again for the people who are now new to the friend group and haven't been there for the last one. But like, if you want to watch Heat and get really nerd mad. But like, of all the things in Reflections that irritate the living fuck out of me, one of the biggest ones is how, despite this being a version of the story told completely from Kaoru's perspective, how it fucking slaughters her character. It makes her look so weak. It makes her look so fucking fragile. It's awful. It's so bad. It's a bad adaptation because all of the things in it are either wrong, out of place, or mischaracterized. And it's not a good introduction because if you don't know what the fuck is, because if you've never seen the series, there's good chunks of it where you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
I know that feeling.
Can I ask what we're talking about?
We were talking about Rurouni Kenshin. We were talking about Samurai X Reflections.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is an OVA that was made in the 90s. And it
was dog water.
And it was fucking dog water.
Fair enough.
I fucking hate it with every fiber of my being. You have not yet been, you've not yet been jumped into this friend group.
I have not.
Because, so, we have a thing. This started a long time ago with a different friend of mine referring to it as the ritual TM. Once you've unlocked a certain level of friendship with me, you get to sit down and watch that movie with me and watch me get the most autistic I've ever been.
Understandable.
As long as I've known you, I've yet to have that happen.
I know,
That's not fair.
You should join too. The funniest bit about it, so here's, some of you are like, oh, this, that, and the other. Every time we've done this, in total, we watch the whole movie, so it's about 2.5 hours, right? So far, we have not had a singular session of the ritual TM that has not turned that into 4. Because I just keep pausing and getting mad.
Jesus.
I fucking hate that movie. It's a bad movie.
Oh,
Alright.
I mean,
so
we all
shades
have
are
that one
done.
show we get nerd mad over. Personally, my nerd mad is whenever Dragon Ball discussion hits, and they always talk about Dragon Ball Z or the others, but they completely ignore Dragon Ball and basically like Dragon Ball's not that good. I get fucking steamed so quick when people say that shit because I'm like, how fucking dare you disrespect the show that gave you what you nerd over now?
No, but it's cringe.
Huh?
But Aladdin, it's cringe. It's cringe and it's not fun. Because there's no lasers. Where am I supposed to get my big dick lasers?
Oh my god. That's literally what the fuck is like, but where my keyblades yet? I'm like, bruh, the fuck are you? Oh, Lord. I swear a lot of people who watch Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball now forget what the point of Dragon Ball was.
Like,
yes, we'll make the joke that Toriyama had no idea what the fuck he was doing and he retconned a lot of his shit because he just simply forgot. But the whole purpose of Dragon Ball was literally him making his own adaptation of Journey to the West.
yeah, it was a funny little gag manga.
No, his funny little gag manga was the Robot Girl.
listen, while Avi was here, we watched Super Broly. And I told him, I was like, listen, unlike Naruto, which I hate, we don't have time to unpack this today, so don't even ask. We simply don't have time.
No, I don't blame you.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just looking at chat and being like, we don't have time to unpack all of this, don't worry about it. But I hate Naruto. I have nothing but bitterness and hate in my heart. But I can't bring myself to hate Dragon Ball Z. Because A, there's a couple of things that it does really competently.
Yes.
And B, like, truly, when you get down to it, right? Dragon Ball's fun.
Yeah. I've always said Goku and Usagi walked so the big three Goku and Usagi crawled so the big three could walk. That's how I always put it.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking I love, like, the one thing that I can say about it is, like, that even at its worst, Dragon Ball's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I have fun. I had fun watching Frieza get fucking used like chewed up and spit out like a dog toy for half an hour while, for an hour and a half while fucking Goku and Frieza while Goku and Vegeta are trying to figure out how to fuse. Like,
yes.
Like, Toriyama has a knack for writing, like, likable characters and truly a fairly interesting world. It's just, like, but there's, and I told Avi, I'm like, but I have complaints of it, right? It's why it's not for me. Is, like...
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't do a lot with that interesting world. I feel like the fight choreography is kind of flat and samey. I feel like once you hit the final arc of every villain kind of becomes the same. Like, there's things I don't like about Dragon Ball, which is why I can say comfortably, like, that's not for me, or I don't like it. But I can't say that I have any, like, strong negative feelings towards it. Because it does what it does well. And it feels like it does it with purpose. Toriyama's here to have fun, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and even the complaints you give are, like, the very same complaints that a lot of Dragon Ball fans have.
Yeah, it's not, like... Ultimately, these things are not sins, they're just things that mean that I won't play, or I won't interact with the thing anymore, you know? It's just a case of, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I got other shonen. If I want complicated, cool fight choreography, I got other shonen for that. It's fine. I'm not going to mock the people in my friend group for liking Dragon Ball. Except for Avi, because it's funny. Then again, Avi doesn't get mocked for liking Dragon Ball. Avi gets mocked for the way he likes Dragon Ball. But, like... But I fucking hate Naruto. Naruto fucking sucks. Naruto's bad, and I'll fight people who think otherwise.
I mean, yeah, it is.
I get my mocked for liking Sonic. Sonic's fine.
That's why I'm always, like, between the three, which is Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. I always put One Piece first, Bleach second, and then Naruto just...
Naruto's here.
I liked Bleach. I remember watching it when I was younger. I liked Bleach.
Same.
Bleach is one of those things that's listen, Bleach was very well constructed. It was well put together. It was beautifully illustrated. And then Kubo decided that he hated his editors more than he liked making his fans happy, and then the ending of it sucked.
Yeah, Kubo decided to get petty towards the end, and we all suffered for that shit.
And I don't, like, ultimately, this is the thing, right? It's like, I don't blame him. I'd hate his editors too, but, like...
Yeah.
Fucking take it out on your readers!
Yeah.
Like...
That's been my big thing. about Kubo and how he handled it. It's like, I don't blame you. Yeah, your editors are dog shit, but bro, your editors aren't your fucking readers. They're not the ones sitting here watching this. Why must you make us suffer for this?
Listen, I get it, but I don't have a lot of sympathy for Tisha when I write myself into a corner. I make a new character, Kubo.
Yeah. That's some shit I expect Toriyama to do.
Toriyama just fucking forgets.
He really does.
Do you want to hear one of my favorite stories that Avi told me?
I think I know which one, but tell me.
The one about Oda.
Yeah.
So fucking our boy Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. I'll yell about Fate in a second. Don't even worry about it. But so Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, got a chance to speak with Toriyama not too long after One Piece had started serialization, and he was so excited. He was so excited, and he talked to him about how he liked Tao Pai Pai, and how cool he thought Tao Pai Pai was.
Yeah.
And he gushed and gushed and gushed about how much he loved this character from early Dragon Ball, and Toriyama looked him in the face and went, "Who?"
Yeah, exactly. Who? This motherfucker
just forgot. One of, like, the first real, like, capital A antagonist in the entirety of Dragon Ball, and this motherfucker just forgot.
Like, the one that actually gave Goku a run for his money. Like, legitimately could kill this little motherfucker.
The reason he climbed the tower, the reason that he met Kami, like...
Yeah. And then Tao Pai Pai became a reoccurring, and then became a further character in the World Martial Arts Tournament because his brother Shin.
And this motherfucker looked at fucking Oda and went, "Who?"
Who?
I was like,
and so Toriyama. And
I was like, dog, I would have just lied.
I would have.
I would have just fucking lied and been like, "Oh yeah, thank you. I'm so glad. That was totally what I was going for." Like, the fucking tenacity of that old man for him to just, like, look at one of his fans and be like, "Who? Your favorite character? I don't know who that is."
Well, then
you
again,
made them up. You made them up.
But then again, you also had to remember when he first started Dragon Ball, he literally said, "Oh, this is gonna last 10 chapters." It didn't.
True.
This man 4 chapters in was like, "Oh, this is gonna last 10 chapters." Oh shit, it's not lasting 10 chapters.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the honesty, I guess. Fucking, I have 2 other great mangaka anecdotes, and then I'll yell about Fate. I was reading, when I was getting caught up with One Piece, there's this really adorable SBS chapter where Oda's like, "Oh, hey, do you remember this piece of Smoker fan art that I used for SBS like a couple years ago?" And I was like, "That's really cool Smoker fan art." And he's like, "Yeah, the person who did this is now being serialized, and they didn't tell me because I met with him at the fucking Christmas party, and he never told me because he was too embarrassed. So all of you should go read his new manga. It's called My Hero Academia."
Oh my god.
Yeah! Horikoshi? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's so cool.
He was like, "I saw Horikoshi-kun at a fucking Christmas party," and he was like, "Yeah, I knew," and he's like, "You didn't tell me," and he goes, "No, I was embarrassed."
Oh my fucking
I didn't think you'd. He's like, "I didn't think you'd remember, so I didn't, because it would have been embarrassing."
Okay, I'm sorry. That's kind of precious.
Oh, it was so fucking. I started crying when I read that. I'm like, that's so sweet that he dedicated an entire like author's notes chapter entry to just being like, "Hey, fucking somebody who drew me fan art's publishing their own series and is nice. You should go read his book." And it was fucking.
Oh,
and
My
that
Hero
man.
Academia. Oh my fuck. Oh, by the way, Heaton, do you know that the mangaka of Beastars is the daughter is also
Abaki
related.
is the yeah. Yeah, her last name's Itagaki. It's the same.
Yeah.
In a
I
weird.
remember when I was reading Beastars, I was like, "Yo, this is cool," and I saw her name. I was like, "Wait a minute,
You mean like
that name sounds familiar." And then I was like, "Oh, I fucking died."
in
Because
a
I've been
weird way
catching
that
up on
kind of makes
Baki,
sense.
right? Yeah, because I've been reading the manga Baki, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a ride.
Itagaki has an art style, TM.
He also, I think he really legit feels that Yujiro Hama's a spirit animal because I'm scared. That man should not exist.
I mean,
He does some wild ass shit.
How do you describe the Baki art style? Somewhere between like Hirohiko Araki and Rob Liefeld.
Yeah, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
The other good one is I was reading some anecdotes from Akutami, the creator of JJK, and this motherfucker, this fucking stupid cat. So he was at Jump Festa for like the second time for JJK, and he was wearing an exhibitor pass because he's an exhibitor. And some girl walked up to him because he represents himself as a cartoon cat, she didn't know who he was. So she walked up to him while he's like wearing, I think it was a Yuji sweatshirt or something. And she was like, "Oh, I love your sweatshirt." And he looks down at it and goes, "Yeah." And she goes, where's this booth?" And he goes, "Over there. And he's like, "I like your lanyard," because it had Gojo on it. And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she just left. And I'm like, "You're a fucker. You are a capital F fucker. I would have lost my fucking mind."
I mean, it's like the case with like a lot of like artists and creators and stuff like that. Like, remember when it was like Adam? Like, remember it was like Adam Savage walking around Comic-Con dressed like No Face?
Oh yeah, or the time that fucking Tobey Maguire walked around dressed as Spider-Man.
And no one knew.
And no one knew. I remember that. Where he unveiled it on stage. Like, he was in, like, a cheap Spider-Man costume and took pictures with people all day, and then was sitting in the audience and they were like, "Toby, come on up!" And he comes up from the front row and takes the mask off, and people are like, "Oh my god! I was taking pictures with Spider-Man!" It's so fucking funny.
I'm nowhere near caught up, but all I think of is Gege.
Gege when I catch you, Gege!
Gege when I catch you. It's been stuck in my head since I watched you draw it, because it just keeps making me laugh. Gege when I catch you!
Fucking, Tumblr's been having a fucking field day with that piece, and I'm glad for it. You're welcome. Me too. So...
Oh, it's Susie!
Hey, Susie.
I'm sorry, I didn't recognize the profile.
It's the doodle of the poems.
So, one of you mentioned Fate, and now you get to reap what you sow. I fucking hate Fate.
Delightful.
I hate the Fate series. I have a violent dislike and distrust of the fucking Fate series, for a number of reasons. You'd think that I would love it, because I love historical revisionist fanfiction. We've talked about this.
But like, you have it at home. It's called Record of Ragnarok.
Record of Ragnarok and Drifters are 10 times better than anything in the Fate series. You cannot convince me otherwise. Because they have themes, and they care, and they're not about, selling Dojin and fucking mobile game subscriptions. I hate...
Boy.
Yeah, it's God. Like, I'm just bitter. And I'm not gonna pretend I'm not bitter, because, like, I know what I wanted, you know? Because I know what I like. And I'm not necessarily just upset that I didn't get what I wanted, because frequently I will go to these proverbial restaurants, order meatloaf, and be handed a salmon steak, and then just be like, well, that's not what I wanted, but it looks tasty, and I will eat it and enjoy it. But sometimes, some fucking times, there's a difference between, like, hey, this isn't what I ordered, but it's still tasty, so I'm going to continue eating it, and, hey, I asked for this to be medium well. You have handed me a raw slab of ground beef It's in the same family as what I ordered. Generously, you could say it came from the same place. But everything else about it's wrong. And, like, the waifuification of some characters isn't necessarily inherently bad. Like, for example, I don't necessarily dislike the notion of Arthur being a woman, especially because of the way that we've mythologized King Arthur. I think there's a lot of interesting things you can do and say with that. Fate just doesn't. And kind of the fact that it doesn't makes certain things it does later, vis-a-vis Mordred, very fucking confusing. Because it... Genuinely, one of the most infuriating things about watching things like Zero, and then, like, getting into Fate Go, or watching, like, Apocrypha, I just sit there and I watch bits and pieces of it, and all I can think of is, there was no forethought to, like, how these connective tissues would go together. Like, you didn't think about this. I can tell you didn't. Because the minute that something new has to be brought up, you don't have an answer for it. When I sit here and go, okay, so if Arthur's a woman, then how did she have a son? Because she's supposed to be also Morgan Le Fay's child. Hey, anyway. And I'm like, god damn it. Just fucking have a fucking point.
I mean, I tried. Didn't know I was that bad at it.
Hi. I'm yelling about Fate. I'm just
one.
Yes.
Okay.
The entire series as a whole.
So what are your issues with it then?
Specifically, I feel like a lot of the changes that it makes to, like, historical... So, like I said before, I love me some historical revisionist fanfiction. I think it's fun. In fact, part of my fucking Record of Ragnarok video, so I'm not gonna go into it here. Here's your no nuance take for a minute. I think that it's actually incredibly important that we have these kinds of pieces of historical revisionist fanfic, because I think it's more important for us culturally to not take our own history so goddamn seriously. But, like, I just, overall, it feels very... It has a really cool setup, but doesn't utilize it in any meaningful way to say or do anything, really. And then it later on kind of is like, yeah, well, we're running out of, like, contemporary people. We're running out of, like, available people, so now we're just gonna bend our rules over our knee instead of doing something interesting with the ones we already have.
So you're one of the people who doesn't like the fact that fictional characters can be summoned too.
No! You can't just establish something in such hard stone, black and white, in your goddamn narrative as you need a physical object. They said multiple times in the original Grail War, because it was a whole thing, you need a physical object, a part of them, something that was attached to them in order to summon them. Because if you don't, then it means that you don't need them to summon regular heroic spirits anyway, so we can all just be... So it means that all of us in the BR can just have our hands in the pool being like, Arthur, 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 and one of you gets the rare 5-star loot drop. That's cringe, and I hate it.
No, you do that, and all of a sudden you just summon a jacked up aardvark wielding like a piano as a weapon.
God.
Well, the thing is, the series already broke that idea by its main saber. King Arthur isn't real.
King Arthur's one of those characters that's, like, dubiously real.
No, he's not dubiously real. He's just not real.
Well,
The legend exists, that's true, but King Arthur as a person never existed.
Well, what I mean that I say he's dubiously real is that he's an amalgamation of, like, 4 or 5 different people.
So one of those characters that doesn't exist, like Robin Hood or Donald Trump.
Yeah, in the same way that, like, what's his name? not Sonata, one of the, there's a ninja from the Sengoku era who's not real, but he's like
Which one? Are we talking about Hattori Hanzo?
yeah, Hanzo, where like he's kind of what I mean when I say like dubiously real, when again he's not a real person, but he's an accumulation of like 3 or 4 different people.
I see.
And like
Wait.
and I'm also willing to like, and I mean, I fucking disagree with it as well. I think that sticking to like explicitly real characters is better because again, I think that it gives you a nice through line and an interesting pool of characters to do something interesting with. Cough cough, Record of Ragnarok. Cough cough, Drifters. Because one of the things I love, right? One of the things I love about Drifters in particular is that you can tell that, like, for all of Kota Hirano's bullshit, because that series has some bullshit in it, and I'm not gonna pretend that it doesn't, but, like, for all of Kota Hirano's bullshit, you can tell that he put some thought into, like, how these characters would react to meeting each other, how they would react to seeing different facets of history that they either missed out on or were not around for. Like, he thought about who these characters were and about who these people were and how they'd interact with each other. And Record of Ragnarok is the same way. Like, Record of Ragnarok openly and nakedly twists around a lot of its lore. Like, fucking look no further than Beelzebub's weird twisting of the Bible lore. But, like, but it does so, A, with a narrative purpose, B, with a symbolic purpose. Like, it does so meaningfully and intentionally. As opposed to Fate, which never feels like it really does. Like, like they exaggerate character traits, or leave them out, or get history wrong, or like, for example, right? Again, like I said earlier, could you do some interesting storytelling with the fact that King Arthur was actually a woman and all of the legends about him were wrong? Sure. I think that's cool and interesting, and I think we could do some cool and interesting things with it. Do we? No.
Well, that's actually one of my points of contention, and I don't know where to fall on it. Specifically Claudius, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if what they've done with Claudius is something that I should take issue with because Claudius was genuinely a monster in the worst ways a human being can be, or if I should feel that it's funny that they turned a historical monster into an anime girl. I don't really know how to feel about it.
Yeah, there's certainly a limit to that, and I have seen Hitler-chan.
Like, I can't, it's like this with a lot of things now, and it's something that kind of irritates me, is, this runs all the way back to, like, the beginning of the stream when I was talking shit about the coffin of Andy and Lele. I feel like there's kind of this recurring pattern of people taking things for, like, the sake of cool bullet points on a box, and then not thinking through either the implications or, like, all the shit they can do. And then when you hold a magnifying glass to it, everything kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you got, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, a personal favorite example of mine, right? I've made it no secret that I do not like the webtoon Covenant. I think it's very bad. It's very badly put together. I think its queer representation comes off incredibly fetishy, which is wild because it was written by a lesbian. But, like, I don't like it. I think everything about it's badly put together. I still have that script. I'm sitting on it. I might revive it. But, like, I just don't like anything about it. And part of the thing that I said in that video is, okay, what you're telling me is that various factions of the Christian church are actively trying to fight Satan. Cool. What does it mean? I have to grab you so gently by the shoulder. Do you know why in stories like this, we make something up? Because now that you've said this, what does it mean for literally every other religion when Christianity is demonstrably the correct one?
Depends on how well you write it, I suppose.
Spoilers, spoilers, she doesn't.
Yeah, like, that's kind of the thing, because, like, DC has the whole thing that, like, all gods, all pantheons and religions are correct, even if that somehow counteracts each other's, and it's just, you know, they're all correct, moving on.
But that's...
Well, DC also,
oh, go ahead.
specifically for Grant Morrison, they constructed it in a way that makes sense. Like, if you actually look at the multiversal map that Grant Morrison constructed, it all makes sense within the logic of how that universe is structured. But I think what Heaton is referring to, and I think I might actually know that webcomic. It sounds really familiar.
Possibly.
Did they have some really edgy side plot where like Jesus came back as Hitler?
No, but that sounds radical.
It's not. It was actually horrible.
But like this, but what I'm talking about is like, you can't, like, I don't feel like, and I said this in the script, I was like, I don't feel like this person's like, say, anti-Semitic. And it's a case of like, my religion's real and yours isn't, har har, right? Like, she talks about having grown up Catholic and that's why she's like this, TM. But like, so I'm like, I don't think that there was any malice intended in this, but like, because everything is so structured within the context of the church, not of Christianity, of the church, it makes, like, I sit here for a minute, and I have to put my head in my hand and be like, so, like, historically, were the Crusades just morally correct? Like, what? Like, you can't do this. Cause, like, shit means things. You have to think about that in the broad scheme of your shit. Especially if it's so, like, systematically true. Like, the church could come out tomorrow and just prove that Jesus is real. Like, I don't... It also, this becomes, like, why are there sects of Christianity now if you know that objectively one version of it's real? Like, you can't... Deeper
theological discussions that I'm sure this writer actually didn't think about.
Exactly. And it's, like, shit like this is wild. Because, like, you have to... When it's things like this, in, like, a broad sense, like, even if they're not relevant, you kind of have to think about shit like that, at least a little bit. Because, like, your readers who are not Catholic might care. And, like...
thing.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, the thing that we ultimately got onto is about the inconsistency and logic breaking of things like fate. I think they actually could have done something with it if they had just narrowed their view and, you know, just made it to be legends, not just fiction as a whole, because, number one, let's be honest, they're not going to grab anybody that's, like, not in public domain.
Yeah.
And secondly, you can be more creative with that, because how a legend is seen is also based on the individual who interprets it. Like, one thing I did like in Fate Apocrypha was when they had Vlad Dracul, what was his motivation? Was it, I want to suck blood or something? No, he actually hated what his legend had become. And his wish, if they won the Grail War, was to annihilate, like, that being anywhere in fiction or history. Just that concept of him not there at all. Because he hated the fact that he was portrayed as a demonic vampiric creature. I mean, he doesn't argue against the other horrific things he's done, but he didn't like how he was being interpreted in the modern age. So I can understand that as a motivation.
And that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then one of my cited go-tos in Drifters is when fucking Toyohisa talks to Nobunaga for the first time, and like after Nobunaga has accepted, oh, you're from the future.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah. The first thing that Nobunaga asks is, what happened to my son?
Yeah.
And Toyohisa tells him he died a warrior's death. He died protecting your clan until the very last man. And he's like, damn, kid shouldn't have died before his father.
Yeah.
My other one from Drifters is I fucking loved the minute that I found out that Hijikata was on the bad guy side. I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. I hope he has a clash with Toyohisa, because Toyohisa's a Satsuma samurai.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I bet. And then they do, and the first thing he says is, wait a minute, you said you were Toyohisa Shimazu. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, I know you. I read about you. And he's like, yeah, I bet. So you're from the future. And he's like, yeah, I am. You're a Satsuma samurai. And he's like, I'm the Satsuma samurai. And he goes, oh, cool. And he goes, cool. And then draws his sword and goes, I fucking hate the Satsuma. And I was like, yes! But that shit rules. Like, again, you can tell that Hirano, like, cares. That he put thought and care into how characters from the same time period would react. Or, like, the way that Nobunaga, who famously really liked guns and black powder, when he meets the cowboys and they break out the Gatling gun, he's like, this is the fucking sickest shit in the world!
Speaking of Nobunaga, do you know why he chose not to convert to Catholicism?
Oh, because he couldn't have multiple wives.
Uh-huh. That, and he found the fact that Westerners took no issue with eating horses disturbing. Like, yeah, no, I like my ladies, thank you.
I like my women. Women. Fucking, but like, I will always advocate for the funky, fresh, funny, like, shit like Record of Ragnarok, because I think that taking things like history and religion so inherently deeply seriously, like, I get that those things are serious for people, you know what I mean? I'm not turning around to Lio and Brooke and Justin and being like, fucking stop caring about your religion, bitch. But like, when you hit a point where something is completely sacred to the point that you can't, like, have fun with it or use it for its intended purpose to, like, teach parables and to learn, like, you just kind of lose sight of the point of, like, fiction and legends and the like. And I think that, like, as long as you're respectful of the original source material and, like, show the right amount of, like, deference to the figures in question, if provided they deserve it, like, you know, I feel like A, it doesn't fucking hurt anybody, and B, it helps people learn and engage with themes and ideas that these things represent in a way that is more, like, entertaining, and not only more entertaining, but, like, a different kind of educational. It's why I love things like Saint Young Men, too. It's cool to see, like, these famous figures, like, cohabitating and cooperating and being friends. Because in reality, if they'd have been around at the same time, they probably would have been. Like, maybe I'm a filthy fucking liberal. Who knows? But I think that, like, inherently, in the same vein, right? Like, you'll constantly hear me, like, banging my drum and tapping the sign and being like, if you're gonna talk about dark subject matter, like, fucking do it right. But I'm never gonna advocate that you don't. I'm never gonna advocate for not talking about, like, dark or serious subject matter for the same reason. Like, engaging with dark and serious themes and ideas is good for you if that's the kind of enrichment that you want. But it's the responsibility as well of the people who create it, as well as the people who partake in it, to, like, do so responsibly and in a way that is educated. Because you don't want to do things that'll cause harm, but in the same vein, again, that can really help you learn and rationalize things that you just don't have any other means of learning or about or rationalizing with, you know?
See.
Have you watched Ya Boy Kong Ming?
I have not yet.
It's really good. And it's especially indicated of, like, Kong Ming's whole idea about, like, tactics. It's even going into idea of, like, is he truly a nice person? Like, what he did was probably, in some ways, terrible. He did cause the deaths of many people. He did lead certain people to their demise. But in some cases, you do kind of see, doing it for greater good, flawed ideas, how he was doing it in order to, help, his master and ensure the plans would go to fruition.
Yeah, you've got to, like... It's why, like, another perfect example of this. One of my favorite things in the world, if you ever had the opportunity to do it, is I would sit down and I'd watch Rurouni Kenshin, obviously, always. But then, I would follow it by watching Peacemaker Kurogane.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love... One of the greatest things about those two things, part of the reason why I love Peacemaker Kurogane, it's my favorite piece of Shinsengumi-focused fiction, because at no point in that whole story do they ever make any kind of allusions to them being anything other than what they were. Like, it portrays them as deeply human. Because it does not shy away from showing you that they were kind, that they were friends, that they were family members, that they had things and ideals that they cared about. But it also never stops showing Yu and Tetsu, by extension, that they were paid killers.
Yep.
But it shows you both of those things, both of those shows, really give you an even nuanced opinion of how that war changed Japan fundamentally and what it did to the people who had to participate in it. One of my favorite... I was talking about this while we were getting caught up on Kenshin, right? One of my favorite things about Kenshin, as a whole, is the way that the story treats specifically Sanosuke. Because Sono is someone who has deep trauma and resentment when it comes to the Meiji government. And a lesser story, once he met Kenshin, the greatest imperialist, would brush off all of that pain and all of that trauma into, like, oh, well, I've met you and you're a good one, so that means that, like, my way of thinking was wrong. It doesn't. Sano's feelings never change. And nobody in the story treats him as stupid or lesser for his feelings never changing. Kenshin, as a matter of fact, as an imperialist, acknowledges in his first conflict with Sano that, yeah, no, you're right. The government I helped build is corrupt. And his response isn't to shift blame or to change the outcome of it, or to pretend that it's something else, or that he isn't partly responsible. He looks at Sano and goes, you're right. So we have to do something about it. I didn't stop fighting because the war ended. Because if I did, then I didn't accomplish what I wanted. And that's amazing. That's beautiful. And I think that a lot of things that I think a lot of pieces of historical fiction, especially in, like, anime and manga, which is why it's some of my favorite mediums to do it, do this incredibly well. because they tell these stories in a way that is so, at best, even-handed, but like also in a way that allows a lot of complexity and nuance to shine through, and make those time periods and those characters and those things so much more interesting and complicated in a way that maybe isn't historically accurate, but helps you understand what that time was like for those people. And I think that's neat.
I need to go ahead and hop off now. You guys enjoy the rest of the stream.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
I make no promises.
Try.
As soon as I can. What's going on? There it is.
No, that was a long
Is that
tangent.
Lio Convoy of Lio Convoy fame?
That was Lio
One of these days I'll say that to his face. I'm just too scared right now.
Anyway, that was a lot of words. So, this is why I'm gonna start writing video essays this year. That was a whole lot of words. It's too bad I'm not reading them.
Well, let's see. I read all those. It took, what, 4 or 5 minutes tops?
I have a lot of... You word so well, Slay. I have a lot of opines.
When are we getting the Naruto video essay?
I've thought about it. I'm weighing my options. It's for the same reason that I can't give you an answer about if or when there will ever be an Anders video essay. I'm willing to do a lot of things for content. I'm trying to decide if getting doxxed is one of them.
Yeah.
Some of you think I'm joking, but the Dragon Age fandom, the girlies in the Dragon Age fandom are scary.
I mean, I'm fairly certain Mortis has told you enough about them already, so.
Oh, Mortis didn't need to tell me shit. I used to go on Tumblr on my old account, and every so often when I was playing DA2, I would just post on Twitter and just tagged Anders DA2. I would just say Anders is a terrorist, and I had grown adult women say some of the most horrible, vile, disgusting shit in my inbox, and I was like, I'm right though. Never, then she'd have to watch Naruto, and that's not in my house.
You know what? That's so fair, Jess. Good answer. Good answer.
Me. I have to rent a couple of weeks in a hotel somewhere downtown. Justin, why? It's a video I want to make, and you said not in your house. But yeah, it's mostly because I'm not sure how big a target I want to be, if we're being completely candid with ourselves. Diffuse this even more, I can. I was about to say, because it's good, it's just a little obvious. There we go. I have a lot of thoughts and opines, and the people around me are getting really tired of listening to me talk about it all the time, and they're just like, just make content. And I'm like, I could. And they're like, why don't you? And I'm like, time.
Heat and voice soothing help me sleep. Maybe when I listen to you yell at Keyblade for like an hour and it puts me right to sleep.
Now I'm tempted to be like, if you're sitting there listening to this video essay in order to fall asleep, ah!
Wee
woo! Welcome to it. Anyway. Also, will never be tired of listening to you ramble. Listen, all of you indulge my stupid nonsense rambling more than you probably should.
Joke's on you, I love your stupid nonsense rambling.
You accept my stupid nonsense, I accept your stupid nonsense.
Anyway, this is why I'm rewriting the entirety of Miraculous Ladybug. Because a grown man has a grudge against a 14-year-old girl.
I love it so much, that's why I want to fix it.
Listen. Chloe Bourgeois did a lot wrong. I'm not gonna say she didn't. However, comma.
Not enough.
Not enough in the eyes of a grown man who started her redemption arc and then said, nah, she's not deserving of one now, smile.
Gamer, you wrote the story!
Yeah?
That's becoming my favorite bit. Is just the response of like, it shouldn't have been like this. Well, you wrote it!
Meanwhile...
Sorry, go ahead, Susie.
Meanwhile, I say that, and then I'm just like, well, yeah, that's the reason I'm rewriting my story.
Exactly.
Listen,
me and my friends with Danganronpa.
The secondary point, there are grown people of gender on Tumblr who hate
gender.
Listen, because I know not all of them are women, but I want to say grown women, but that's a lie. Who hate a 14-year-old French boy so much that they tried to dox me.
Look, if you want a young teenager voiced by Bryce Papenbrook to hate, might I recommend this one Nagito Komaeda for you?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Eren Yeager.
I mean, Eren Yeager, that's one you can hate more, because basically Nazi.
See, now I'm an unhinged Komaeda stan, but that's a different thing.
Respectfully? Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. No, I get it. I know. No.
It's like, disrespectfully, that tracks.
Yeah, I know. I know. Look. Listen. So, back to my point. I had, I used to, fun fact, I used to run a Miraculous Ladybug, drama and tea blog.
Scans, I believe that.
Yeah, it was me and two other people, and I used the snake for me because Luca was roughly gender non-conforming. It was before Julika got one, but we had this person try to dox all of us because we said that Marinette and Adrian both had flaws, but it was really that point of, you said you said you like pancakes, that mean you hate waffles? It's like, we're speaking two different things here, buddy.
You and I are now, sir, ma'am, you and I are having two very different conversations.
It's like, oh yeah, these two teenagers have done dumb things, and both of them need to learn. And it's it's like, oh no, you just hate a young woman of color because Marinette's Chinese. I'm like, that's not at all what we're saying.
I didn't say that.
None of these words are on the script. They are typed words. You cannot mishear me if they are physical words on a page.
Bitch, I didn't stutter. You read these off. I wrote them. I wrote them down physically for you. Komaeda Stan, we can agree to disagree.
I just think he's funny.
He is funny. You're right.
In the worst way, I just think Komaeda's funny.
See, I really don't like Komaeda.
No,
I think he's
so
funny.
valid.
I think he's annoying and stupid, but he's funny.
Yeah. No, I hate him. But
well, for me, it's like, But if I was gonna talk about this, I'd have to get into spoilers. I don't know how many people in your chat have played Danganronpa, so I don't know if I want to do that.
File 100%.
No, we're about to end anyway.
Yeah. But I'll just say that I have personal grievances with Komaeda as a character.
So, we've completed the artwork. It's fucking done. It's lovely. I love them. I've discovered that I really like drawing Calder. Every time I draw him, I like him more and more. I think he's one of the few characters who I feel like every time I draw him, I'm like, yeah, that's him. That's my boy. I don't feel like I've ever drawn him wrong. Dio was the one who added that he had more, like, defined cheekbones, and now I've just like, no, that's it. This is a man with a strong jawline. But I'm gonna send you over to Beepers. Because our boy Beepers has just started. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing the 330 sub reward from the subathon. And we'll be drawing, I'm going to go to a randomizer, like a random Pokemon generator. We're gonna be drawing random ghost Pokemon as Kijinkas. And then Saturday, we'll be doing our very first sub-goal reward, and we'll be watching Mandela Catalog.
No.
So I'll see all of you tomorrow at the usual time. We had to be a little late today because we had to see Avi off. I'll see you at the same bat time, same bat channel. For now, go enjoy Beepers' stream. Tell Beepers hi! And I'll see you tomorrow, chat. Goodbye!
Good boy.